everybody, welcome to the first video of the new year. So happy new year everybody out there, because guess what? It's Rose Adventures time, baby. I feel it. This is going to be the year. I'm making my goals and I'm super excited. The first thing I'm going to talk about is some of the things I did last year. I had a pretty busy 2025, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I have done FanFest nights last year. I did a couple of cool little things with my little sister, going to maybe Disney on Ice, things like that. This year, I plan to be a little bit more active with the things I want to do. My biggest goal for my channel is I want to hit a certain amount of subscribers. So, if you're new here, welcome to the Rose Adventures family. And if you want to join the Rose Adventures family, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, followed by the notification bell, so that way you're always notified of any new videos I'm coming out with. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing I want to talk about, yes, is gonna be FanFest nights. Right there. Now, for some of you, you already know what the deal is. I have all of the utmost respect for what Universal did for last year. Last year was huge for FanFest nights. It was the first time they've ever done it. It was going to be something super epic. Why not do something incredible that's close to Halloween Horror Nights? If most of you don't know, which I'm pretty sure most of you know by now, FanFest nights is a fan night. If you're afraid of Halloween, you just go to FanFest nights. Pretty simple. It's made for the fans, by the fans, that way you're having the best time of your life instead of being terrified for the rest of your life. My biggest ups about FanFest nights was the fact that the food was amazing, the entertainment was amazing. Shoot, the mazes that are kind of like mazes but little entertainment walkthroughs were super cool. Last year, it was Back to the Future. It was freaking Star Trek, and I'm not a Star Trek guy. Don't hate me. I just never got into it. But yeah, no, it was literally the coolest thing ever. You were kind of walking through sets, you were taking in the sights, checking out all the actors out there. Shoot. I would love to go again this year. I have a couple like cool little tidbits here and there. So they changed the tour tram to be Back to the Future. So of course you get introduced on screen to Doc from Back to the Future, and the tram acts as if it's its own DeLorean time machine, which is super cool. They did it for the anniversary. You had Marty McFly walking around, you had carnival games like it was them celebrating, like they were celebrating some sort of event over in Hill Valley. You had the moment where you got to take a picture with Doc as soon as you left the tram. You got the moment where you could take a picture at the Lion Gates, you know, if you're a fan, you know. But it was just super cool. Everything was so entertaining. It was awesome. It was perfect. I felt it was the perfect storm when it came down to Back to the Future. Now, besides from that, again, like I said, you had other moments such as Star Trek, such as going to Super Nintendo World to getting the special character, which was, I believe, Blue and Pink Yoshi, which I do have a picture with my friends. I'll probably show it to you guys right here. And then the best part about it was just, if you have fans that are like super fans like you, man, it literally is a dream come true. I'm very excited for more future events that has to do with FanFest nights. I would like to see Pokemon, or maybe Zelda, as people were saying. Shoot. But I know they're doing the same thing this year with a big difference. So it's going to include Dungeons and Dragons. It's not going to have Back to the Future this year. Unfortunately, it will be changed with Scooby-Doo and Universal Monsters, which isn't a bad thing. It's going to be back on the tram tour. I'm actually excited to see that in person. You also are going to have the same thing with One Piece. I believe it was Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not too sure. But I know I'm going over all the information before I go ahead and get my ticket and save my money, so that way I can do all that. So that's FanFest night. The other thing that I was going to do was, if I could go this year and I believe it's either going to be in April or May. I'm pretty sure April. The Fast and Furious roller coaster for day one. Hey, I have a thing for roller coasters, but Universal's first roller coaster, this is going to be freaking epic. For a lot of you that know what I'm talking about, yes, this will be Universal Studios Hollywood first roller coaster ever. Knowing we don't have the space we have, such as Universal Orlando or Universal Japan, you know, things like that, it's just gonna be super epic. I find it really awesome, especially because now more than ever they're trying to rebuild what they have after losing the Simpsons. I believe it's gonna be in 2028. Goodbye to the Fast and Furious supercharged tram extravaganza. It was pretty cool, but it wasn't gonna last forever. And hello to the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. It looks more like a Guardians of the Galaxy style roller coaster, but for Universal Studios and Fast and Furious. Some of you, I know, Fast and Furious isn't your thing. It's kind of like, bleh, why would I do that? Fast and Furious it's dulling out. I'm just gonna be honest. It's Universal's first coaster. Why would you not want to ride it? It's gonna be super cool. Now, on to the next thing, which for me was going to be Disney on Ice. Last year, I went to Disney on Ice with my little sister for the first time. It was super entertaining. Here's a clip. So, yes, my little sister went to Disney on Ice for the first time. As a Disney fan, what can I say? It's super fun, but it isn't what I expected. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not for Disney fans. The one thing I did notice was when you get the tickets, they explain everything online. So, for example, if you're buying tickets for Disney on Ice, just a little heads up. Make sure you're buying it for the theme that you want. Why would I say that? Well, the reason why is because with Disney on Ice, they change the theme every time. It just so happens the theme that we got was Fairy Tale Endings. I believe that's what it was called. So of course you had a couple of the princesses, just going through some of the stories, a little bit of recap if you've never seen the movies. For Disney fans out there, you may love it. Taking your kids who might like Disney, if you know, kind of show them the way, then obviously they're gonna love it. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, don't hate on me. Disney, I love you guys. But some things gotta give, some things gotta change. I think Disney on Ice probably just needs to be, I don't know, a tour kind of thing. And that's it. Maybe for half a year. Like I said, don't hate me. It's cool. Especially if you're a Disney fan and you want to take the little kids and, you know, enjoy the entertainment of people skating, which is super cool. However, I feel like it wasn't worth the cash. For me, back in the day, I remember Disney on Ice. Super cool. Super cool. Don't get me wrong. Disney on Ice was awesome. The problem, it's not the early 2000s anymore. Back then, you could get cotton candy like you were going to the circus, or you could get the little light sticks and, you know, all the little bubble ones that spun around and things like that. Unfortunately, the kids aren't the same. Again, I have a 7-year-old sister who I showed you guys in the video, and unfortunately, she doesn't really like it. All I can tell you is the early 2000s are gone. Maybe it's time to move on from Disney on Ice for maybe half a season or something like that. Who knows? Maybe just bring it back a year after a year, kind of like you do D23. You guys move it from one place to the next year after year. It just makes more sense. I think that should have been a little bit of everything. Oh, yes. How could I forget? I went to Halloween Horror Nights. I'm not a horror fan. I don't have a lot of content for Horror Nights because I was honestly just spending time with friends. And for me, I like to kind of be in the moment, which is also the reason why sometimes I'm not vlogging. But anywho, besides that, Horror Nights was cool. It wasn't bad. Last year, again, I know it was the Blumhouse Tour Tram anniversary, which was pretty cool. You had Five Nights at Freddy's, which was pretty cool. You had the theming of Fallout, which was also pretty cool. The one thing I can say was I've been to Horror Nights now in my life maybe 4 times. And the first 3 times I was pretty terrified. This time, the terror was still there, but it wasn't as bad. Fallout was cool, but the food was pretty bad. I'm not even gonna lie. I tried the here, let me show you guys here actually. I tried the food. It was subpar. The Radaway was like a Chipotle pineapple drink. It was okay, but it wasn't something I would probably get another time. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It just, I don't think I could drink that again. The creme fries were god awful. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The creme fries just weren't good. The pizza though, the pizza was absolutely good. If you went to Five Nights at Freddy's, you know, Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which was down next to Transformers. Now, the one thing that did get me, the one thing that got me was the fact that Super Nintendo wasn't included. Why? You know, like, spread it out a bit. What would be interesting is if they brought Bowser. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Bowser in Nintendo World for Halloween, that would be pretty sick. Or even Dry Bones. Can't go wrong with Dry Bones. Or Shy Guy. See, there's a lot of things you could do in Nintendo Land, but to block it off for Halloween, I don't think that was such a good idea. It just made it more crowded and people got more antsy and, you know, woo, it's a lot. That was pretty much all the things I kind of did last year. Off the top of my head that I could think of, not a bad year. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to go to Disneyland's 70th, although I will try to do it now that they pushed it this year. And on top of that, I do know that it is Downtown Disney's 25th anniversary and California Adventure's 25th anniversary. Why not live the nostalgia that I've had years ago? So I'm gonna try to see if I can do that this year. Hopefully. But besides from that, so now as you guys know what I've kind of gone through last year, let's take a look at some of the goals I want to do this year. My goal for this year is I want to do as much as I possibly can, but the biggest goal I have right now is try to hit 500 subscribers at least before March. Yes, you heard me right, 500 subscribers. For me, I have learned that I need to be a little bit more consistent. So on my end, I will hold the end of the bargain where I will go ahead, post as many videos as I can, but I'll also be posting on my Instagram, so you guys can check that out too. You know, I think I just want to go half and half and try to learn to be a little bit more consistent, so that way you guys are more aware of everything kind of going on. I actually just went to Vegas with family for the first time, and I kid you not, it was amazing. I didn't know there was a spot near the Strip called Area 15. Now, I will post some of the stuff on Instagram, so you guys can take a look at it. That way you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, there was a place called Area 15. That's where they put the Universal Monster stuff. That's where they had a bunch of the Omega Mart like art walkthrough. We even did the little Barbie cafe for my little sister's birthday. It was interesting at the most, but it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool experience. They have the John Wick experience. I really want to check that out. Knowing that I love the movies, I was like, why not? It looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll head back down there one time and do a John Wick experience with you guys. Yeah, this year is going to be the year of Rose. So I know I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on here, especially pertaining to my collectibles, especially pertaining to traveling and just chasing your dreams. So that is the biggest goal that I have for this year. Let's go over it just one more time. I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to try to hit as many things as I can this year, whether that be card shows, whether it be theme parks, whether it just be going out with family, things like that, you know? And finally, the last thing I'm going to do is try to be a little bit more consistent on Instagram. So that way you guys are a little bit more caught up to everything that I am doing compared to what's going on. Yeah. Man. With that being said, start of a brand new year. Well, technically, second month of the start of the brand new year. But who's counting? Alright guys, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell. That way you guys are aware when anytime I post a video, you'll be the first to know. With that being said, I love you all. Be happy, be safe, especially with everything going on out in the world right now. I know it's a little crazy. I'm just going to share a little bit of positivity and light with you guys. Love you all. Have a good night or day, wherever you are. So have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Don't forget to chase your dreams, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys.